Hello, everybody. No, it's not a Sunderland top. We do content on Sunderland and the promoted sides. It's not a Sunderland top. Bilbao. I am out in Bilbao. Second club. I'll be brutally honest with you guys. I'm out here a lot. I absolutely love Bilbao. What an incredible and interesting place. If you guys have been out here, let me know in the comment section below. Let's get into the weekend review, shall we? Nottingham Forest. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing what Dyche is talking about. I don't respect it. I think it's a poor excuse. He's talking about them being tired, but they've got rotation on the bench, and like Igor Cunha, many others on the bench. I'm not having this excuse of you being tired. Forest's investment over the past 3 years has been to a level of which you can get to Europe and you can prepare. You can be that manager who is able to call on X, Y, and Z in replace of A, B, and C. And I think at this moment in time, when it comes to Nottingham Forest, there is maybe a slight identity crisis in who's stepping up to the mark. At Bournemouth at the weekend, at Bournemouth quality-wise and calibre-wise, that much of a different level to Forest? Absolutely not. Forest have got such a good side in terms of individuals, but the problem is similar with a lot of the bottom three at this moment in time, it's the cohesiveness, it's the unit, it's the brand, the identity. Who are we as Nottingham Forest? Are players going to stand up? Are they going to take account of themselves? Sean Dyche said at the weekend they were tired. Weak for me. A weak excuse. And I thought, at the weekend as well, there's a period for Nottingham Forest, I thought, in the game, but I thought overall Bournemouth were the better team. But I said overall, Bilbao, Iriola, there we go. But I said that it was going to be a tough one for Bournemouth, because I thought Forest would go down and make it tough in a Dyche system. Dyche is now punching upwards, right? He's punching upwards, and from Watford all the way on to Everton, Dyche has never done that. He's always been the underdog. He's not the underdog anymore, because this Nottingham Forest side, out of the bottom 5, 6, potentially even 7, they have the best squad. There is no excuse right now. So immediate results need to start happening for Sean Dyche. Moving on to Wolverhampton Wanderers, chaos. Absolute chaos. I mentioned previously, I love the signing of Phil Lopez. I love the signing of Tolu Arokadere. Really enjoyed that. It's really important yesterday as well that Strand Larsen got on the score sheet. But I think overall, Wolves are missing X Factor. They really are missing X Factor. And then when you look at the generalised perspective, when you're looking at the Fosun out chance and the level of the lack of foresight when you sell the likes of Aït-Nouri and Matthias Cunha, the lack of foresight to be able to go out and get that X Factor, to be able to invest in that player who from an offensive standpoint is going to be able to drag you forward, I think was poor from their end. And now you're getting Wolverhampton Wanderers fans really, really going at the ownership. You're seeing afterwards Jose Sarr coming out and arguing and justifying and validating to fans. It is not what you want. It's an awful, awful look. On top of that, you've then got Wolves on 2 points. Now when you look at Leeds United are on 11. That's a 9-point difference. When you look at Sunderland on 17, that's a 15-point difference. And being beaten by Burnley, which tick, tick, tick means that in your first 9 games, which good games to have, by the way, in your first 9 games, you've had all three promoted sides, you've lost to each and every one of them. Not a good time at this moment. For Wolverhampton Wanderers. 3-year deal given to Vitor Pereira before the game against Leeds United, I thought was mental. It was absolutely mental and immediately put the pressure on Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I think they're in big trouble this season. Big trouble. And no matter what we say about a January window, we've all said that, Wolves have effectively said they're going to invest in January. There's so many permutations and things of which can go wrong with that. And the player's going to settle in. Tolu Arokadere at the moment in time was brought in the summer. Has he settled yet? I don't think so. Phil Lopez, don't think he's properly settled yet from an offensive standpoint. So, you bring in players in January, it might work, but it also might not. You can't bank on that. I think Vitor Pereira is in serious jeopardy when it comes to that job. I really do. But you kind of look at the market now, and it was Dyche, wasn't it? It felt like it was Dyche, but Dyche is at this moment in time just gone into Nottingham Forest, and you kind of look at it and think, well, where do Wolves go from there? And that's the thing with maybe a lot of fans when they've been talking about X, Y, and Z, like, where do you go managerial-wise right now in the Premier League to get a certainty? You've got to get a certainty right now if you're Wolverhampton Wanderers. The board have said this morning that apparently they're going to back Vitor Pereira. That might have an expiry date right now, because 2 points out of 9 games when you've had the teams that you've had to play, nowhere near good enough for Wolverhampton Wanderers. An exceptional result. as well. I have to say, for Leeds United on Friday night, getting the victory, it probably should have been 3-4-5, I would say, against that West Ham United side. They came into it a little bit towards the end, a little bit of a goal of which I felt made it look a little bit closer than it was. West Ham were definitely dominant in the second half, but I felt that's what Leeds enabled them to have. Very similar to what Burnley did to Leeds the week before. You know, we're in the lead, you have the ball. And I like that adaptation from Leeds United. Leeds, there's a strength, I think, at this moment in time, in terms of the grit, the determination. I don't question the character of the team, which I think is so important, the character and the personality of the team, of which I think West Ham and especially Wolves are looking now at the character of the team. I think there is a long way to go for this side, and I think Leeds will invest in January similar to that of Sunderland, similar to that of the rest of them, and that's going to be absolutely crucially important to get the recruitment right. But brilliant result. West Ham on the other side of the coin. It feels like years and years and years of neglect are going to get to a point at which West Ham United are potentially relegated from the Premier League. Really poor. I thought on Friday night, Matías Fernandes should have started. Irving starting when he started against Brentford in central midfield. This guy was about to get loaned out to Wrexham at the beginning of the season. Irving in the midfield, and I thought Todibo at the back was horrific. I think Nuno needs to get this selection right at the beginning of games, not just work sort of off the cuff. And I think there was a lot of selection issues. Why have you got Oliver Scars playing when he's a left back at right back? Baffling from Nuno. And normally you'd expect Nuno to get this right. He's got it completely wrong so far. Sunderland, incredible. And I'm wearing the red and white here, but it's not Sunderland, guys. It is Bilbao. Look, there you can see. Can you see Bilbao? But yeah, look. You booked the trend, lads and lasses. You booked the trend. You've been brilliant this season. I love Isidore and Miranda. If you hadn't have gone up, Sheffield would have gone up, which I'd have preferred, to be honest with you. I was always worried about that KLD and Speakman recruitment. Always, because of what you've been able to do, the recruitment you'd brought in, and how they've been able to elevate. And Isidore and Miranda proving at a Premier League level. Look, we're now looking at Zian Fleming and thinking, well, he's done it. He scored twice against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think that's a bit of context applied at his Wolves. But overall, it's been really proper recruitment for something. You're not out of the woods yet. You do have the whole AFCON thing coming up, and it'll be interesting to see the deputies coming in, but players will be coming back, like Ronaldo, a little bit before. Some people are maybe expecting with the AFCON, it's AFCON with Sunderland, they'll be out for 5 weeks. Ronaldo is not going to be gone for 5 weeks. He was obviously one of the best players at the weekend. That is not going to happen with the country that he represents, obviously, and the same with maybe Siddiqui. Who knows? But I think overall, when you're looking at Sunderland, it's very impressive. Very, very impressive. That is exactly why I wanted Sheffield United to go up, because I wanted Sheffield United to be in that relegation spot as a Leeds United fan above Sunderland. But very impressive again. Be fascinating to see Sunderland in this winter period, which Sunderland have been criticised for, which, maybe a little bit harsh, but you've stockpiled. You've done what you needed to do. You've stockpiled. Don't be offended by it. Naturally, the media is going to drag you down. Same with Leeds. Leeds are only 6 points behind Sunderland. Burnley 7 points behind Sunderland. I think some of the media narrative is very much like Sunderland are 15 points, 20 points ahead. But what Sunderland have done is very, very impressive. And all the newly promoted sides, extremely impressive so far. And could this be the turning of the guard? Who knows? Eh? Bournemouth and Forest and Fulham, I believe it was, all stayed up in 22-23. All of them came up, stayed up. Who knows? Could this be repetition of that? Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Three at the Back will be returning on Wednesday this week, because of just different things that are going on. Thank you so much for watching here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm Conor McGilligan. This is my channel. See you soon.